guys, welcome back to Relaxed Running. Now, distance runners aren't necessarily known for their strength, but there's a problem with that. Effective distance runners aren't just the athletes who can go out and run for longer, though that is part of it. They also have a better purchase off the ground. They're also stronger, they're more efficient. So in today's video, I'm going to take you through a couple of exercises in a few of our major muscle groups, which is really going to help you be more effective in the strength element of your running training. When it comes to distance running training, I think one of the biggest misconceptions is that, well, strength training doesn't really play a part. And even when we think of strength training, I think so often our mindset, our thought process around what strength training is has us picturing like a 1980s gym routine. And as distance runners, we just think, okay, well, we don't necessarily want to get massive. We don't want to spend too much time in the gym because won't that take away our performance? Now, despite the fact that I think that the gym component of our training is still an important factor, despite how misunderstood it is, it's not the be-all and end-all of our running training. So I wanted to take you through a couple of exercises that you can do just at home, like I'm doing right now, with your own body weight, without too much drama, which is going to make a massive impact into your overall level of strength. Now, I think when it comes to body weight workouts sometimes as well, we assume that the benefits aren't going to be that great, but I've got a couple of different levels of these exercises for you. So if one of them is a little bit too easy, then you can move to the more difficult level. Now, if you start at a beginner level, that's completely fine. As you get stronger, as you feel more comfortable, and as you start to practice this process in your training week a little bit more, you're going to be able to work your way through the program. Now, if you've never done any work in the gym before, body workouts are a foreign concept to you, 2 or 3 times a week would be a really great place to start. Now, there's a whole different range of work that we can do, but I think if you wanted to just simply introduce 3 training days of body weight work into your training week, then these are a really good place to start. So the first exercise I wanted to take you through is one that I'm sure you've seen before. It's simply a body weight squat, but what you might not realize is a body weight squat can be done in many different ways, and depending on your technique can make it either a lot easier or a lot more difficult. Just as a start point, you want to have your feet about shoulder width apart, and then as you come down, you want to poke your bum out behind you. You sort of want to aim to have your knees not coming over the front of your toes. So if you imagine like an invisible line from your knees to your toes, you don't want those knees to be coming too far forward. Instead, imagine that you're lifting your toes up off the ground, or even do that a little bit just to help push that bum back a little bit more. So pushing your bum back, arms out as a counterbalance, and come down as low as you're comfortable doing. Obviously, the more you do it, the lower you're going to be able to get, and then back up. That's quite a solid stretch through your quads. As you'll notice, you'll also feel like a little bit of the stability coming through your shins. Now, the reason we do that is obviously our quads are such a massive part of our running. They're such a big muscle group. So what we focus on, despite the fact we're building a little bit of strength through our running training in our quads, a lot of the greater strength work, which is done through body weight, through actually lifting weight, is missed out. So this exercise is really good, not only to tap into the deeper parts of those quads, but also to develop that stability through the knees, through the shins, and through the quads. So you're not only trying to squat down deep, but you're also trying to stabilize yourself. So if you're going to introduce this into a workout, you might start with 10 body weight squats all the way down to the ground and back up. There's 1 and 2. Once that starts to get a bit easier, you can introduce a little bit of weight. If you prefer not to have any weight, there's an alternative to that as well. You might have heard of a pistol squat. Now, this is quite an intense exercise. So with this particular exercise, you're doing the same again, but rather than having 2 feet shoulder width apart, you're going to stand on one leg, the other one slightly out in front. Same concept. You want your bum to be pushed back. You're going to be stabilizing through your knee and through your shin, and you're going to get down as low as you possibly can, just on 1 foot. Now, if you're brand new to it, this might be as far as you can go. All right. and that's fine. You're going to be amazed at the progress that you see through here. But as you continue, as you build that strength, you're going to be able to get lower and lower down to the ground until soon enough you're going to be able to come right down to almost a full squat. Now, honestly, that 1 rep is quite difficult. So if you can get 1 or even 2 or 3 reps in, that might be a really good place to start. You're going to notice that these are quite sore. So the first exercise, you can do the double leg squat. It's going to target the stabilizing through your quads, through your knees, and a little bit through your shins. About 10 of those, and you can do 3 rounds of that with about a 45 to 60 second recovery. If you've chosen to do the pistol squat, the more difficult version, it's really up to you, but I would say aim at the start for 1, and then if you can get to 2, 3, or 4, go for it. Then swap legs and take about a minute recovery before moving on to the next one. All right, now the next exercise we're going to do is going to target our glutes and our hamstrings. Now, obviously our glutes and our hamstrings are constantly activated throughout our running, but they're activated on quite a quick basis. Each time our leg hits the ground, it might get like a little bit of strength, it might get a little bit of a workout. This one is directed specifically at those. So as you'll start to notice, it's going to be a really deep burn through your glutes and through your hamstrings, especially if this is something that you haven't done before. So with this one, you're going to find a comfortable place to lay. Now I'm going to lay on the grass and risk getting itchy. You can find wherever you like to do this. You're simply going to lay down on your back. You got your feet at about shoulder width apart, and then through your heels, you're going to push up. And imagine your vertebrae coming up one by one from your lower back all the way up to your upper back, and hold. And then do the reverse gradually. We're not just going to go bang and lower ourselves down. We're going to gradually come down with control all the way back down to the ground there. As I've said, it's really targeting our hamstrings and our glutes. Maybe through 1 you already feel a little bit of a burn. And just like that first exercise, we're going to target about 8 to 10 of these with a 60-second recovery. If you're not feeling a lot of activation through your glutes, make it a conscious effort to squeeze once you get to the top, both through your hamstrings and your glutes. Now, if that's too easy for you, what you're going to do with the second exercise, just like we did with the pistol squat, is you're going to have your one leg out straight, the other one bent, and the same idea. So you're going to push up through the leg that's bent, through the heel, raise 1 vertebrae at a time, all the way up to the top, hold it for about a second, and lower back down. This is just a more intense version of that first exercise that we did. Now, same as what we did with the pistol squats, the second version of that exercise is going to be quite intense. So you might notice you can only do 2 or 3 of those. Completely fine. Maybe start with 6 or 7 of the first exercise, and if you feel like you're on the brink of crossing over, introduce a single leg squat, just 1, 2, even 3 at the end of that exercise. Take a 60-second break, switch legs, repeat that 3 times. All right, and for our last exercise, you might have heard a lot of people speak about the efficiency of technique when we're running. So obviously we want to be able to be strong not only through our hamstrings, our quads and our glutes, but we don't want to be hunching over. Now, so much of our lifestyle is sedentary, which is fine, but we'll sit down at our desk all day. We might be hunched over our phone, and this, as I'm sure you've heard, it's almost become cliche now. This is almost the stereotype of the posture that we're taking upon each day, which, as you can see, it doesn't look healthy as a start point, and especially doesn't look effective as a distance runner. So we want to do a counter exercise to that with a few back extensions. We want to really just offer a little bit of resistance to that posture that so many of us take through the day. So sticking with our routine of doing 10 reps, we're just simply going to lay down on our stomach with our arms stretched out. Almost got a gum nut stuck in my nose, so I'm just going to get that out of the way. Now we're going to be stretched out here, our feet stretched out, our arm is stretched out. And we're just bringing ourselves up as high as we possibly can for 1. 2. I won't do too many of those with the microphone so close to my mouth because it'll just get too muffly. But you see the drill. So there's 3 exercises which are going to add massive value to your strength component of your training, and you're going to see really quickly that just through some body weight exercises you can really get a good workout in. So here's what I would do if I was you. You're going to start the routine with 10 squats. If the squats are too easy, we go into the pistol squats. After that, we move into the glute and hamstring extensions, the press, where we lay on our back and push ourselves up. Really feel that through there. 10 reps, and then the final exercise is the one I've just shown you, where we're laying down 10 back extensions, arms stretched out, legs stretched out, coming up, feeling it from the bottom all the way up to the top of the spine. This is really good exercise to counter that natural posture, or the unnatural posture that so many of us are starting to take as our natural posture throughout the day. If you can repeat that exercise routine about 3 times a week, it doesn't matter if it's on the days that you're doing your running, on the days that you're not doing your running, you'll start to notice the strength in those particular areas pick up. And if you can target the strength in those muscle areas that we've just been focusing on, you're going to see some solid improvements in the way you feel when you're out there running. Guys, if you're not a subscriber yet, make sure you hit the subscribe button. We've got videos coming out twice a week on Wednesday and on Sunday for all things distance running, from strength workouts to training workouts to tips, common challenges. So make sure you hit that subscribe button to stay up to date with what's going on. Like the video if it helped. Would also love to know a little bit more about what you guys do in your strength workouts. Are you mostly in the gym? Are you doing Pilates? Are you doing yoga? A combination of the 3. Let's continue the conversation in the comments below. Anyway guys, until next time, happy training, and I'll see you all in the next video.